The first person that I will be calling is Mr. Akshay Rath. Akshay Rath is the Chief Executive Officer of EcoX. EcoX, a very, very well-known name in our country. It is an inclusive digital platform, a platform which has used ICT for the purpose of promoting sustainability and connecting plastic producers, importers, and brand owners to a network of recyclers and processors. These recyclers who EcoX first verify and then connect. I won't go any further. We look forward to learning sustainability in action in the context of plastic recycling from Mr. Akshay Rath, the CEO EcoX. Over to Mr. Rath.
Great. So thank you, Mr. Akram, for giving me an opportunity to address the August gathering, and good afternoon to all my co-panelists. Before starting the deliberation, I thought in this pandemic time, when the entire world is going through such untold misery, I would firmly believe as per Sanatan Dharma to pray God that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Paschantu, Ma Kaschit Dukhvag Bhavet. For my guests from out of India and panelists as well as my participants, that it says that each man be happy, be wealthy, be healthy in this earth. With that prayer, I go back to yesterday's deliberations. Being part of the organizing committee along with Mr. Akram, we are very happy to see the quality of deliberations we had yesterday. And a couple of things which are so practical, one example I could probably give is what the panelist from UK said, Mr. Bakshi, that there are so many sectors which are informally happening. One example he was giving on mattresses and not yet converted to a formal sector. There are so many sectors which needs our attention, and probably a lot of recycling efforts can get into that. Second, we could also see the examples and the successful use cases given by Mr. Mirza from Nagpur. He been given a very beautiful case study wherein his students had gone to the extent of creating an oxygen concentrator from plastic waste. That is really kudos of him. So on today's discussion, based on the subject given to me, sustainability is a very, very huge topic. And I would restrict myself to a subset of substance. So for the participants who are not much familiar with SDGs, what we call Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17 goals and 169 targets, which are marked by UN and being monitored, managed, and coordinated by UN with global players and global governments as well as other entities. So out of the 17 goals, what you could see in my screen, I am much interested and my attention is on SDG number 12 on consumption. So if you go to SDG number 12, what it says, initiatives to reduce the production and consumption of plastics. If this is a problem statement, let us try to dig down what and how and to what extent plastic has really impacted our environment. You will be surprised with certain figures, and for the sake of showing you the statistics, just can you read out, which is very self-explanatory. What he says, 5.25 trillion macro and micro pieces of plastic in our ocean, 46,000 pieces in every square mile of ocean, weighing up to 269,000 tons. Talks about 8 million pieces of plastics mix their way to our ocean. And it covers Think about the garbage covers 1.6 million square kilometers. And we produce 381 million tons in plastic waste yearly. And estimate says this will be doubled by 2034. Out of which 50% of this single-use plastic and only 9% has been recycled. That is the problem statement. 88% of the sea surface is polluted by plastic waste. 8 to 14 million tons enters every year to our ocean. So the biggest culprit has already been established and accepted by all entities who are working towards making the earth plastic neutral or say plastic free. Every minute you will be surprised 1 million plastic bags standing on the trash. So with this problem statement, let's go to what Government of India has started doing. In fact, Government of India started first guidelines and framework called Extended Producer Responsibility. EPR puts the financial and physical onus on manufacturers, that is basically PIBOs, what we call, meaning plastic producers, importers, and brand owners for the treatment, recycling, reuse, or disposal products after a consumer has used or disposed of them. This introduced in 2012. This was primarily introduced in India to begin with in e-waste, which again get into a framework and guidelines in 2016 for plastic. So EPR of plastic essentially puts the onus on the users or the companies who are using plastic as a packaging, and they are liable to collect it back, dispose them, or recycle them to improve the plastic footprint in the country. Coming back to the subject which is closer to my heart, we are in the age where we are talking about artificial intelligence, we are talking about machine language, but all these technologies which are helping a lot of verticals, a lot of sectors, a lot of solving a lot of problems very easily, how do we use them in our context? Every technology to be used needs a data point. So where do we collect those data? What are the challenges for making India as a plastic neutral? How do we reduce plastic, say, consumption? How do we improve recycling? And how do you ensure that there are no landfills in coming years in India? So out of these five, out of many challenges, these five which I wanted to discuss today, one is ULB participation, that is urban local body who are supposed to be in the forefront and supposed to be the owner of each and all garbages we are throwing out in our doorstep. So how does a ULB handles this? For ULB to handle it, the technology or say ICT can give them a dashboard which will help them first to register all the ecosystem members who are part of the value chain in the ULB. It could be the rag pickers, it could be the so-called kabadi balas in India, what you call scrap dealers in English. It could be the baler who buys from the scrap dealer, bales it and transports it to recyclers. It could be the agencies or the contractors or the WMAs who are as a third-party contractor working to clean their cities in their respective towns or respective wards or zones, as appointed by public procurement processes through e-tendering processes. So until and unless we bring them all to a single platform, how do we quantify? How do we measure? How do I segregate the categories? Under EPR, there are 7 categories of plastic which has been accepted as a plastic waste, for which we need to do an EPR obligation fulfillment. So, basic point what I'm trying to bring to your attention is we need to first bring all these ecosector participants into a single platform and try to get all the data point in terms of what are the collections, category-wise, state-wise, town-wise, zone-wise, in terms of is it PET bottles, it's SDP, it's LDP, it is PP, it's wood, plastic, whatever it may be. Once we know exactly what kind of plastics waste is getting generated from the respective zones, towns, and municipalities, we will have enough tools available to take decisions. How do we monitor them? How do we transport them? How do we recycle or reprocess them? But at the moment, what is happening, the age-old practice of appointing third-party contractor agencies town-wise or city-wise, unfortunately in Indian context, which I really do not like to spell out, but because of the political nexus or the mafia involvement as a parallel economy, we are really not able to do justice. And the agencies which are appointed by respective municipalities, they take out the valuables into it, and whatever reaches to the landfill, which doesn't have any value. So the municipality is not making money. So until and unless the municipality has a way out to monitor the quality of plastics getting gathered from the doorsteps and institutions, schools, hospitals, restaurants, so on and so forth, they will not be able to estimate what kind of monetization value it carries. Once municipality is in a position or ULBs are in a position to get a share of the revenue, what is being traded in the market ethically or non-ethically, ULB will have an option of putting those money to increase the infrastructure in the respective areas or ranges. Now the second question comes, EPR spells out very correctly that with ULB participation, you got to collect ethically. That does mean that if you are a waste collector, the municipality should give you an authorization and you be an authorized agent or contractor who is officially allowed to collect and gather waste. How do you prove it? We have 8,000 odd municipalities across India. Fortunately, because of the nascent stage of EPR as a framework, there are certain relaxations given by government. One, it says you need not collect your own products. You may collect same category of plastic even of your competitors. Second, it doesn't say that you collect town-wise or village-wise and show us a proof of recycling or disposal. It says at least in a couple of municipalities in a state, whatever you are generating or selling as a packaging through your products, you can at least in 3 municipalities in a state, you collect and show us the proof of documents which have been collected. Think about the enormity of it when we are getting out of the relaxation parameter and you are asked to get into at least say 500 or 1,000 towns where town-specific collection needs to be proven and needs to be done. How do you handle it without ICT help? Then obviously we know the transportation sector. So the third challenge is taking help of ICT as a proof of dispatch. And the material reaches to the recycling unit or co-processing unit. At the moment, we have only 2 or 3 choices of co-processing unit. One is we can call it the cement plants, which are using RDF. Second, we can talk recycling units where PET and other few grades of plastics are getting recycled. So we, as a startup in India, we found out with a lot of validation done by one of the top 4 consulting firms, we had a clarity that the portal solution can help ULBs to the extent that ULB can register their entire ecosystem members, can manage, monitor, and endorse ethical collections. And if the need arises, they can also give these services to set up the EPR obligation to the brands or PIBOs, and out of which municipality can make some revenue. And we have gone further ahead to ensure that the rat pickers who are at the lowest level of the pyramid, who can also get benefits from the system. So the money accrued through the process or revenue managed through the process by ULBs and municipalities can be shared with all ecosystem partners with an escrow mechanism or direct credit system. So essentially the point what I am bringing to an ICT has not played a major role as of now. EPR to an extent, which has been there for last 3 or 4 years, I believe in today's opportunity, the challenges which will definitely help India to become a plastic neutral or say plastic neutral country, or to reduce plastic to the extent it is physically possible, other than doing other, addressing other aspects of chemical or mechanical ways of recycling and treatment and other solutions. EcoX gives a solution wherein the ICT developed by EcoX can go a long way with ULB participations, wherein all these challenges can be mitigated. I think this is what I thought I will speak and deliberate upon, and I will be very happy to take any questions on it. Thank you, Mr. Akram, and thank you, my fellow panelists.